Deep within the unforgiving expanse of the African desert, 3 geologists were hunting for diamonds in ancient rock formations. But their radar stumbled upon something far more sinister, a massive, subterranean anomaly. Consumed by curiosity, they traced it to the surface, finding a bizarre mound of earth. Driven by the allure of buried treasure, they broke it open. They didn't find diamonds. Instead, they unleashed a nightmare. Before our main story even begins, the desert claims its first victims. Enter Jack, a brilliant tech geologist who has engineered a specialized radar capable of detecting thermal signatures. When 3 geologists vanish without a trace, Jack is ordered to Africa to find them. No questions asked. By morning, radar in hand, he is on a flight across the world. Upon landing in the scorching wasteland, Jack joins a search party at base camp: Carol, Mickey, Kurt, Titus, Magda, and their commander, Jan. Leaving Jan behind to guard the camp, the rest of the crew loads up their off-road vehicles with food, fuel, and firearms, and heads out into the blinding sands. After hours of searching, they find the missing geologist's vehicle. But the men are gone. In their place is a sight that chills them to the bone: 3 pristine, human skeletons. No flesh, no muscle, just bare bone. And it happened in less than 6 hours. No known animal on Earth feeds that fast. Nearby, they discover a cryptic artifact, a small statue bearing the face of an ant. While the group rationalizes it as a wild animal attack, a deep unease settles over them. Night falls. Unable to sleep, Jack and Mickey find themselves sitting atop a towering sand dune. As they talk, a quiet spark ignites between them. Suddenly, Jack's radar violently beeps. A massive thermal signature is racing toward them. In the shadows, a grotesque silhouette shifts through the dark. Jack's screams wake the camp, but by the time the crew arrives, the entity has vanished. And it didn't leave empty-handed. The geologists' bones are gone. When dawn breaks, the fog rolls back to reveal a horrifying sight: a humanoid figure, pitch black and utterly unnatural. Kurt opens fire, and the creature evaporates into thin air. Rushing to the spot, they find the stolen bones neatly piled on the sand. As the group reels in confusion, Titus steps forward, trembling. He confesses a dark legend from his home village about Isolu. Isolu is not a single monster, but a hive-mind colony of billions of flesh-eating ants. They strip a human body clean, then inhabit and manipulate the skeleton from the inside, forming a grotesque, moving composite creature. The workers feed the flesh to their queen, using the bones as armor and camouflage. The group mocks his ghost stories, dismissing it as the work of a psychotic killer. But the desert isn't done with them. Suddenly, their vehicle's engine dies. The radio goes completely dead. Stranded in the wasteland, they have no choice but to wait for a random patrol. Night returns. Sensing a shift in the air, Titus cautiously opens Kurt's sleeping bag and witnesses pure horror. Kurt is wide awake, paralyzed, as Isolu devours him from the inside out. Titus screams, but the bone monster lunges, crushing his hand. The camp erupts into chaos. Carol unleashes a futile hail of bullets, but conventional weapons are useless against a swarm. Jack douses the perimeter in gasoline, forcing the entity to retreat. But Isolu is adaptive. It returns, and this time, Jack and Carol watch in horror as the swarm visibly knits human bones together, morphing into a towering humanoid shape right before their eyes. With Titus rapidly fading, they make a desperate play. Magda stays behind to tend to Titus in the broken vehicle, while Jack, Carol, and Mickey take the last drops of fuel and set out on foot to fetch a rescue vehicle from base camp. Disaster strikes almost immediately. A violent sandstorm engulfs the trio, shattering Jack's radar and blowing away their extra fuel. That night, Isolu hunts them again. But this time, the bone creature wears a new face: Magda. The realization hits like a physical blow. The vehicle was overrun. Magda and Titus are dead, their remains absorbed into the horde. Carol uses their absolute last drop of gasoline to repel the beast one more time, leaving them entirely defenseless. The next morning, they stumble upon the original geologist's abandoned car. The radio is active. They successfully call base camp for extraction. Scanning the area, Jack notices a massive, hollowed-out subterranean mound, the original nest. He pieces the puzzle together. When the geologists broke open the dirt mound, they destroyed Isolu's ancient home. This wasn't just a hunting spree, it was an act of brutal retaliation. Suddenly, Jan arrives from the base camp. Blinded by grief and paranoia, he screams that they killed their friends and binds their hands to his vehicle. But Carol seizes a split-second distraction, knocking Jan unconscious and freeing the group. Mickey begs to escape, but Jack and Carol look toward a gaping, dark mine shaft nearby. Isolu has chosen its new nest. If they don't destroy the queen now, the body count will never stop. Armed with unstable, highly explosive liquid, the 3 friends descend into the abyss. Inside the claustrophobic tunnels, Isolu ambushes them, shattering Carol's leg. Jack distracts the horde, sending the bone monster plunging into a deep chasm. But a skeletal arm reaches from the dark, grabbing Carol's broken leg and pulling him toward the edge. Jack and Mickey fight to hold onto him, but the downward pull is too strong. Carol looks into the eyes of his friends, realizing that if he keeps fighting, they will all go over the edge. With a final, heroic look, Carol grips the explosive liquid and hurls himself into the abyss with the monster. A deafening explosion rocks the cavern. Carol is gone, but the path is clear. As smoke fills the tunnels, Jack and Mickey are cornered by the true mastermind, the Ant Queen. Thousands of flesh-eating ants surge forward. Mickey screams to kill the queen and end it all. With nothing left but a combat knife and pure adrenaline, Jack lunges forward, driving the blade through the queen. Instantly, the hive mind shatters. One by one, the millions of ants drop dead, and the horrific composite monster collapses into a harmless pile of bones. The mine begins to cave in. Jack and Mickey sprint for the surface, breaking out into the blinding light of day. Outside, they find Jan's lifeless body. Isolu had executed him before entering the mine. Out of the entire expedition, only 2 remain. In the quiet aftermath, Jack and Mickey stand by the desert roadside, waiting for a transport taxi. Jack decides to stay behind, dedicated to rebuilding and working at the desert camp. Mickey chooses a different path, a clean slate, far away from the sands. As the taxi pulls up, they look at each other. No words are spoken, none are needed. They share a poignant, bittersweet kiss. Mickey steps into the car and drives away into the horizon, leaving Jack alone with the quiet, vast desert. The horror is buried, only life remains.